The chess lawsuit speaks for itself, said Hans Niemann, as he sets out to try and claim $400 million from those who he perceived to be the guilty parties that ruined his reputation. For those who do not know, Hans Niemann not too long ago had a big chess match against the current world champion, and to everybody's surprise, he actually won the match. Now this resulted in shock for everyone, including Magnus Carlson himself, who pretty much insinuated that the only way that he could have lost was through cheating. Now Magnus then quit the rest of the tournament and then proceeded to call out the alleged cheating. Hikaru Nakamura, another chess master, also started to pick up on the story, as well as chess.com, who banned him from their platform. Now it should be noted that there is no evidence of over-the-board cheating from Niemann, and thus he decided to file this massive lawsuit. Now before we get too deep into the story, let's also just back up a little bit. Magnus Carlson is the best chess player in the world. There are debates that he might actually be the best player to have ever lived. Now within the chess world, there is one very clear rule. Magnus Carlson almost never loses, but when he does, it is against the best of the best. When it was made clear based on the tournament standing that Magnus would be going up against Niemann, no one really took that match too seriously. The loss though did immediately send shockwaves across the chess world, but it was also the reaction from Magnus that got the most attention. Following the loss, Magnus withdrew from the tournament, and then his spokesperson pretty much just said that they cannot speak out against the situation too much because they did not want to get sued. Ultimately, that statement did now become true. Now within the next tournament, Magnus and Niemann did meet again, and this time around Magnus quit the game only one move in and stated that he refused to play Niemann again. Now Magnus did go on to win that tournament, and afterwards he finally came out with his statement, and that statement read as follows: "Dear Chess World, at the 2022 Cup, I made the unprecedented professional decision to withdraw from the tournament after my round 3 game against Hans Niemann. A week later, during the Champions Chess Tour, I resigned against Hans Niemann after playing only one move. I know that my actions have frustrated many in the chess community. I'm frustrated. I want to play chess. I want to continue to play chess at the highest level in the best events. I believe that cheating in chess is a big deal and a big threat to the game. I also believe that the chess organizers and all those who care about the sanctity of the game we love should seriously consider increasing security measures and methods of cheating detection for over-the-board chess. When Niemann was invited last minute to the 2022 Cup, I strongly considered withdrawing prior to the event. I ultimately chose to play. I believe that Niemann has cheated more and more recently than he publicly admitted. His over-the-board progress has been unusual, and throughout our game in the Cup, I had the impression that he wasn't tense or even fully concentrating on the game in critical positions while outplaying me as black in a way I think only a handful of players can do. This game contributed to changing my perspective. We must do something about cheating, and for my part going forward, I don't want to play against people that have cheated repeatedly in the past because I don't know what they are capable of doing in the future. There is more that I would like to say. Unfortunately, at this time I am limited in what I can say without explicit permission from Niemann to speak openly. So far I have been able to speak with my actions, and those actions have stated clearly that I'm not willing to play chess with Niemann. I hope that the truth on this matter comes out, whatever it may be. Sincerely, Magnus Carlson, World Chess Champion." Now chess.com for their part also came out with a long statement saying that Hans had a history of cheating and therefore would not allow him to play on their website any longer. Now it is worth pointing out that Hans does in fact have a history of online cheating when he was 12 and 16, but only when it comes to online. There is no evidence that he ever cheated on over-the-board chess. Furthermore, chess.com pretty much at this point dominates the game, so being banned from entering their tournaments and also not being able to play in any tournaments that that the world champion is in pretty much means that there will be no more chess for Hans. As you can imagine, this did not sit well with the 19-year-old pro, and thus he decided to sue Magnus, Chess.com and Hikaru Nakamura for a total value of $400 million. Now, suing Hikaru is a little bit weird. He has spoken about the situation and pointed out his past of cheating, but as far as I have seen, he only read and presented the evidence as it was released, but I do not ever recall hearing him say outright that Hans is a cheater. I could be wrong on that point though. Now, Chess.com and Magnus has done the most damage to his reputation, outside of course himself, who has done all of the online cheating previously, but I do understand why Hans might want to consider taking legal action against those two parties should he actually be innocent of cheating in over-the-board chess, which once again, as of right now, there is no clear evidence that he ever cheated in that format.